Alright gang, hopefully I'm on camera here. I've been meaning to do this video for a long time because I went to El Salvador in January. It is now July. I went on a whim. I literally went on ChatGPT looking up affordable places to travel in Latino countries, because I speak Spanish and I wanted to practice, that were less than 8 hours flights, something close. El Salvador was one of them, as one of the cheapest. The fact that that was a no-brainer, because there were some that were a little cheaper, but the no-brainer about El Salvador is Bukele, their president, and the story as to how the country became so safe. This video today is going to be helping you understand the country if you ever want to go, but also being a spokesman for the country. I love El Salvador now. I had no idea what it was like before. Honestly, I just knew about the gang issues. I knew how dangerous it was. I then knew that it had gotten safer, that the president cleaned up the streets, but I don't know what that entailed. And so I want to share with you guys how much better the country is. I've been there now, and just how it's going to get so much better down the road. So listen up. Let's start with the safety of the country. The police are low-key like military, strapped at all times with machine guns. Some have helmets and huge bulletproof vests, looking literally like soldiers. It reminded me a lot like when I go to Israel, and there are soldiers everywhere that are technically police. The cars are armored to shit, looking like mini Humvees. Really incredible. And even the security guards at bus terminals and random supermarkets are strapped with shotguns, the shells on their waist. I felt very safe seeing this. Some people might be turned off. And so the country's extremely safe. And don't just take my word for it. I actually talked to other people. Sorry. My mind's wandering right now. Before I tell you about my conversations with other people, I anecdotally walked through so much of the capital city, which capital cities are usually some of the more dangerous if you're walking around random parts globally, right? So I was walking around random parts of this capital city, San Salvador, with multiple bags and boots hanging off my bags, looking white as hell. I'm a walking target for theft. Not once did I have close calls or sketchiness, or I didn't even have people telling me to watch out. I was super safe. I went everywhere. And that leads me to the next point, which is don't take my word for it. I talked to so many locals who, one, are huge fans of Bukele and what he did over the last few years. But they themselves talked about how safe it is and how they can walk around and do whatever they want. If you're not familiar, Bukele, the president, put a state of emergency on, making it that he could not be kicked out of government. So he was technically a dictator once he did this. But he had to do this so that he could roam the streets and snatch up any gangster or people he thought were gangsters and put them in jail without a trial. A lot of people would see this and think, red flag, human rights violations, we should all get a trial. Everyone deserves a trial. I get that, but that's easy to say from the diaspora. That's easy to say from outside El Salvador when we don't live there. We have no skin in the game. It's just virtue signaling at that point. The people love that he did this. They're safe again. They feel comfortable. There's no ransoms or there's no kidnappings and there's no blackmailing to businesses. People love it. It's a very safe place. I can't say this enough. I had so many times where I could have been robbed, and in sketchy late night, early morning situations, like a million situations I should have been robbed. A lot of hitchhiking. I could have been kidnapped. Lots, you name it. Like I'm just forgetting. So many moments I'm hiking places alone. So you got to go because it's one of the safest Latino countries you will experience, honest to God. Second is the gentrification. This place is built up now. It is starting to, there's more investment in there. There's even the expensive Airbnbs and stuff are still so cheap because how much it costs to buy a property is cheap. So the Airbnb and landlords can charge less. And the place is just growing like crazy when it comes to foreign investment. The people are so kind. That's the third point I want to make. I could tell you once again a dozen stories. There were lots of times people were doing free things for me, being very nice, rides for free. Like when I really wanted to pay them, they wouldn't take it. They wanted to feed me. So many people fed me. Like, so many nice moments I can't even explain to you. Lots of people helping me out, wanting to talk on the street. It was wonderful. They call it Tierra del Volcán, land of the volcanoes, and for a reason. Everywhere you go, you see volcanoes, but also some of the best hikes are these volcanoes. Even the place I was staying, I'll talk about it a little later, was a crater from a volcano and everything, and mind blowing how big this crater is. It's called Lago Coatepeque. Actually, I'll talk about that now. Basically, this is a must see when you go, you guys. When you hit El Salvador, you have to go to Lake Coatepeque, if I say it like a gringo. You can see it's like some crater must have taken out the dinosaurs there. It's massive, and this lake I jet skied on, it's $30 for 30 minutes. Not that bad. For a novel experience I'll never do again. And just beautiful little hut things on sticks out of the water, like a dream, an absolute dream. And that leads me to the next highlight that I think you should do if you go, and that's the Captain Morgan Hostel. Hilarious name. I don't know if they should be getting royalties for that. But yeah, this place is levels, like up on the hill and then down by the water, and just such a cool restaurant, and cool, really cool, this boat thing that is a bar, a moving bar, but a massive moving bar with a roof over it, and these hammock swings that, and the wind coming off the water, pure bliss, pure peace. Excuse me. Like, I literally was falling asleep on the dock with a couch cushion as my pillow, and just literally falling asleep because of the wind off the water. I was up so late at night, just falling asleep in the dark, sitting in a hammock. Like, oh, I want to go back so bad just because of that. And last point I want to make, let me make sure the camera's still going, so I don't have to do this. Yeah, we're still cooking. Last point is the cheap transportation and the availability and how reliable the transportation is. You don't have to taxi that much. The busing's great, but especially from city to city. I thought I was going to have to rent a car. Long story short, I didn't rent a car. Actually, I'll tell the story because my future great-grandkids are going to watch this. I had it booked, the car rental. It was going to cost me like $700 or something for the week. I go, my card's declining. It was an issue with my PC MasterCard because you still got to call them, even when they say you don't have to call them. And I didn't, and then it was declining. So I thought, shit, what's going to happen? I was 40 minutes away from the capital city at the airport, late at night, like 10:30, 11 p.m. Like, it was insane. And I'm like, I'm going to have to sleep in the bushes. That's literally my game plan right now. I'm going to sleep in those bushes. I was ready to go, and then all of a sudden a gentleman runs up to me who I'd been talking to. I had talked to everyone at the airport. No one could help me, and he goes, hey, chamo. They say, mahe. I found someone who can take you to San Salvador. I was like, oh, thank God. And then this taxi driver's like, hey, man, what's up? He then gives me he calls this hostel for me because my phone doesn't work there, right? I didn't have anything. I couldn't call people. And he calls them for me, and they give me a reservation that night. They had one room available somehow, and it's like the most in-demand hostel in San Salvador. I get there like 1 a.m. The fireworks from Christmas Eve are going, and I finally fall asleep. Long story short about transportation, I was worried. I get into San Salvador, I wake up in the morning, I'm like, now what? My whole trip's flipped. I was supposed to be across the country in the morning, I was going to drive it through the night. The plan was not to wake up and it's already 9 a.m. and I'm like, great, I've lost